Have you ever had a long conversation with an AI, and then it suddenly forgot something you told it 30 messages ago? Or started giving you advice that contradicted what you'd already agreed on? This isn't a glitch. It's fundamental to how LLMs are designed. And once you understand it, a lot of AI behavior that seemed strange will suddenly make sense. In this video, we'll cover three things: the context window, what happens when it gets full, and the deeper truth, that AI is stateless, and every message starts fresh. Let's start with the context window. Every LLM has a working memory limit called the context window. It's measured in tokens, and it means the LLM can only see a limited amount of text at once. Here's what that means in practice: if your conversation gets long enough, the oldest parts get pushed out. The LLM simply can no longer see what you said at the beginning. The limit that you set 3 hours ago, the background context you provided, the constraint you mentioned in message 5, all of it can fall outside the window. Think of it like a whiteboard. When it gets full, you have to erase the oldest content to keep writing. The LLM isn't forgetting, it literally can't see the erased parts anymore. Now here's something that surprises most people: the LLM itself has no memory between messages. Every single time you press send, the LLM reads your entire conversation from the beginning, generates a response, and then, that instance is gone. The next time you send a message, it starts fresh again. When you think you're having a continuous conversation with the same AI, you're not. You're actually sending a new instance of the AI your conversation history each time, and it's reconstructing the context from scratch. So who actually remembers you? The app does. ChatGPT, Claude, and Gemini all have a layer above the LLM, a database that stores your conversation history and sends it along with each new message. The AI's memory is actually the app's database. This is why the same LLM can behave as a completely different personality in different apps, because the app is controlling what context the LLM sees. Before the context window fills up completely, something else is already happening. AI applications often quietly summarize older parts of the conversation to save space. This sounds helpful. But summarization loses information, and that leads to 4 specific failure patterns. The first is lost constraints. You said don't use jQuery in this code. The summarizer compresses that to front-end coding task. 3 messages later, jQuery appears. The second is role confusion. A long discussion gets summarized as explored options A, B, and C. The AI forgets you already chose B, and keeps treating A as still on the table. The third is contradictions. The summary keeps the conclusions but drops the reasoning. Now your situation has changed, but the AI is still pushing the old answer, and can't explain why. The fourth is instruction drift. You started with formal tone, under 200 words, no emojis. That gets compressed to user is in a conversation. 3 hours later, long, casual replies full of emoji. 3 practical responses to all of this. 1. Mark critical constraints. Put the word important before any instruction you really can't afford to lose. Summarizers are less likely to drop explicitly flagged content. 2. Write your own summary when starting a new conversation. Don't rely on the AI to remember what you discussed. Paste in a quick paragraph of context, what you're working on, what you've already decided, what constraints apply. You control what the new instance sees. 3. When things go wrong, start fresh. If the AI starts contradicting itself, forgetting your constraints, or drifting in a direction you didn't want, opening a new conversation and restating the context is almost always faster than trying to correct it in place. Here's the thing that ties all of this together. The reason AI seems to forget, the reason it hallucinates, the reason it drifts, the reason compression fails, it all comes from this one fact: every time you send a message, you're talking to a new instance. The conversation you see on your screen is a log. The relationship you feel like you're building is maintained by the app, not the AI. The AI is born every time you press send, and it's gone as soon as you get your answer. Understanding this doesn't make AI less useful. It makes you a much smarter user of it. In the next video, we'll get practical. We'll show a live demo of how a poorly phrased prompt goes wrong, the famous car wash example, and then give you 5 techniques for writing prompts that actually work. See you there.